So you've finally completed all your studies, you've done your pre-placement classes, you've done your home study, you did your fingerprints, and you did all the things you needed to do, and now you're licensed and you're ready for your first placement. Now's when the real work begins. So all the training that you've done prior to this is going to be used at this point. And so this is a very exciting and very scary part of the process, especially if it's your first placement, because the first one just scares everybody to death. If you're not a little afraid, then you're above average. If you're petrified, yeah, that's normal. We had 5 children prior to starting being foster parents, and we were petrified. So if you're petrified, don't sweat it, because most people are. So what does this process look like? Well, let me give you a couple tips to help you through this process. So first of all, you filled out a form of all the things that you said that you would or would not take with regards to what they know about the foster children that they would send to your home. So understand that you're going to get calls outside of those parameters. It just happens. I don't know why it happens, but it does. And believe it or not, lots of people take children outside of their parameters. So you're going to need to decide up front, what are you willing to take? What are you not willing to take? Because when you get that call and they're going to give you the little bit of information that they have, they're going to expect an answer at that moment. Meaning, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We have a 3-year-old boy, first time into care, doesn't have any medical conditions that we know of, doesn't have any behavioral issues, wasn't sexually abused. Will you take him or not? They're expecting an answer. If you say, let me get back with you, I need to talk to my husband, or I need to talk to my wife, or I need to talk to whoever I'm doing this with, they're just going to move on to the next person. They're not going to wait for you to come back and give an answer. So you have to be prepared for when that phone rings, that you can say yes or no, and understand what you're willing to take, what you're not willing to take, and don't feel bad for saying no, because saying no is actually the brave thing to do. Saying yes when you're not sure that that's going to work is really the cowardly thing to do, because you're really just hurting those children that are going to be coming to your home if you're not prepared for whatever it is that you've decided that you can't do. So that's step one, is be prepared and understand what you're willing and what you're not willing to take. But here's the frustrating part about foster care. Well, one of the frustrating parts. There's a million frustrating parts, but one of them. So you're going to get a call. You're going to say yes, and you may never hear anything back. That might just be dead silence. Nobody calls you back and tells you if they're coming or not. And this can get very frustrating, because you get the call, you say yes. They won't tell you a lot of times at that moment if they're coming to you or not. They'll say, we'll get back with you. And sometimes they never get back with you, and it's extremely frustrating. But understand, caseworkers have an enormous amount on their plate, and calling a foster parent back to tell them that kids aren't coming to their home are very low on their priority. So just understand that's frustrating. The second thing is that you may get a call right away, and it may be a month or two before you get a call. So I can tell you, for my wife and I, we were licensed in we were licensed in May, and we received our first placement 2 weeks before Christmas. And we got calls in May, June, July, August, September, October, November. We got calls, and we would get lots and lots of calls. And so it got very frustrating for us, because we were like, wait, we're ready. Where's the kids? They say there's this huge need, and so then we started questioning, is it us? Do they not like us? Do they think there's something wrong with us? And here's the harsh reality. It's sort of like playing the lottery. It's sort of whoever says yes first, because what you have to remember is when a child comes into the system. They call agencies and they call their entire network, and then sometimes it's whoever says yes, or whoever may be in the same district, school district, or somebody that lives close to the bio parents because of a visit situation that they know about. So understand it's not you. Because they don't have enough time to look in and go, oh, these aren't good people and these are good people. You're licensed, so the state has said you're a good person. So just understand it's not you, but I promise it's going to feel personal. But here's the other one. So early on, we would tell our kids, oh, we said yes to a placement. And our kids get very excited. And then for the next 10 hours, they would be like, when are they coming? When are they coming? When are they coming? And so we stopped telling our kids because it was disappointing them. It was not only disappointing us, but it was disappointing them. So just understand that this process of waiting can be extremely frustrating. Now, let me tell you one more thing. When you get the call and you say yes, and then 15 or 20 minutes later, you get a call back and they say they're going to be there in the next 30 minutes. I promise you one thing. Pure panic is going to come to you. You're going to question, am I good enough? Do I really know what I'm doing? I'm going to fail miserably at this. And let me just give you a break. Because here's the deal. You're going to do some things really, really well. And you're going to fail miserably at some things. And that's just the way it is. And that's okay. The key is to make sure you go back to all the training you received and try to do it the best you can the first time. But understand, there is no such thing as a perfect parent, and there's certainly no such thing as a perfect foster parent. And so you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to learn from your mistakes. But the key is to go into this with the mindset of what you learned in training. Because I will tell you, the biggest thing that I hear from foster parents is they say, I thought I knew what this was going to be like. And I sort of ignored the training, and I was like, I have kids, and these kids came in, and I realized I was completely out of my league. And as soon as I went back to all of the things they taught us in training, it became so much easier. It's still hard, but it became so much easier than when you just try to work off of your instincts, because your instincts don't work with these children because they're not yours. They're not biologically yours. They probably come from a different environment. They might be a different race. And so there's all these factors that you can't know, and so you can't rely on your instincts. So just know this. Waiting for your placement can be extremely frustrating. And so my tip for you is, while you're waiting, reread, restudy, relearn all of the things that you were taught in pre-placement classes, and keep those in the forefront of your mind, because that's going to make your journey so much better. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, please subscribe. I'm constantly making more videos to help folks become the best foster parents they can be.